Hey, welcome aboard. I had an earlier video that was introducing this. Should have came out yesterday. I saw this guy, and he basically did a video where he was talking about, basically the need to just get Trump on whatever you can. If you can build a big case, great. But take him out on the little stuff, get him off the street, get him in jail, tie his lawyers up, and then when you get the big case ready, and I want to say years ago, there was someone we knew. He was younger, and he had a friend, and this was either during high school or right after high school. And he used to spend the night over at this friend's house. Good friend of his. They lived in a trailer park. And one of the nights, now thank God he was not there because the family would have lost a pretty good member of the family if this had happened. But at his friend's house, somebody killed his mom, him, and his sister, and there was some criticism as to why they only jammed him up on a parole violation. They sent him back to jail for violating his parole. It put him in jail for somewhere between 1 and 2 years, I think. And the way it was explained, they did a press conference. They said, "Hey, look, the minute we file charges, we're on a clock, and we got to go, 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 go." And he goes, "And if we miss one of our deadlines, he could be set free." He goes, "We jam them up on the parole violation." He goes, "We've now got more than a year to investigate this thoroughly, take our time, be careful." And he goes, "Hopefully we will be ready to go before he gets out of jail." And I agreed with Cohen. That's what I thought of, when this first came up. And then Cohen, this was like a week or two ago, I think he did the video, and I cannot find it. But he was just, yeah, get him on anything you can. Just absolutely get him on anything you can, put him in jail, and then work the bigger case. But at least he wouldn't be running around free like he is now, giving these hate rallies, although they're not doing that good. What we're going to talk about today is the cult like nature of the Republican Party. And Michael Cohen, again, I think nailed it on the head. I got to say, most of these people that work for Trump, I am not a big fan of them rehabilitating themselves and coming forward. And I'm not a big fan of him coming forward like this and getting his own podcast and putting out books and all that. And I won't be buying them. I probably won't be reading them. But I want to make a distinction, though. This is a guy that went to jail for Trump. This is a guy that has come out and told us the truth. He has turned over evidence. He is not these people like I think Mick Mulvaney. He's got a cushy job somewhere. I forget where he landed. You've got the one of his communications people. She's trying to rehabilitate herself, and she's going on CNN and she's going on The View. While CNN, I think, is being run by, I think they're saying it's either owned or being run by some MAGA turd who's basically going to try and turn it into Fox News. And that might be what's going on because that one girl, I've seen her on CNN, and they just hired her. They made the announcement a couple weeks ago as a permanent host on The View. They've had her on there as a guest host. And to me, you know, Mick Mulvaney, I think that's the guy. He was the chief of staff. Whoever it is was the chief of staff before Mark Meadows. He didn't give any warning on this. And, from what it sounds like from watching that, these are all people knew that he was breaking. I mean, he was the one who came out and said, "Yeah, we did it. It happens all the time. Get used to it," when they were basically trying to blackmail. I mean, his hands are not clean. And he's got some cushy job running some fucking company. Apparently, they wanted a crook to run it, I guess. That would be my opinion. And, and then you've got, the one that's going to be on The View. Well, they had her and they had Donald Jr.'s girlfriend on there. Well, then, some shit dropped about her, and so they never had her on again. And Joyce, or Joy, the one of the hosts on it, she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that she did this. My God, what kind of vetting do you guys do? You had her on as a fucking guest host. You should have known something, or you shouldn't have had her on there." This can't think. I might get her name wrong. I can't think of her. She's kind of the skinny and attractive one they got. I think they figured, well, even if she's as bad as Meghan McCain, if she's attractive, it's like, no, that doesn't work that way. I watch The View because I want to be informed. I want to hear, wisdom from people that are probably smarter than me, at least on the subject they're talking about. And this is not the case with her. This is a person, and somebody did a dive and they looked at what she was doing before she worked for Trump. This is someone that came to work for Trump after the first impeachment. You can't give her a pass. You know, she came to work for him after the impeachment. When you hear the stuff these guys are saying in public, you know, Navarro, he put the details of their coup attempt into a book. He went on national TV and he was sitting there talking about the Green Bay sweep and how they're gonna see it coming, but they won't be able to stop it. He was admitting that there were 100 members of Congress that were involved, including some senators. And you just you can't give him a pass. And I still don't like the idea. I don't watch his podcast. I'm not going to read his book, but I don't put him into the same camp because he paid the price. He's done a full mea culpa, where these other people, they're just trying to get that Trump stain off the bottom of their shoes and, oh my God, I stepped in something, and move on. And to me, it shouldn't work that way. So this is part 2 of part 3. See you tomorrow for the next installment.